Zoom people, I have to apologize. I don't have my microphone today, so I'm hoping you'll be able to hear me. You should be able to, but I usually have it. I don't today. So deal with it. The word this week is Aparigraha. And the translation usually is non-attachment or non-greed. You can look at that in ways to apply it to your practice on the mat, ways to apply it outside of your mat practice. Like one way that resonates with me is there have been people in my life that I've had to detach from because they won't help themselves or get better, and the toxicity and negativity just kind of brings me down. So I've had to detach with love, and that's kind of what Aparigraha is representing. There's a passage from an article that I found that I posted on the Yoga Home Facebook page that relates to it, and it has to do with our practice here on the mat and like our expectations of when we come into practice. So it goes, we may all walk into our yoga class looking forward to practicing, setting our intention and ready to move and breathe our way towards a more peaceful mind. Often halfway through though, something happens. We lose sight of the real reason we came, and our practice is no longer about connecting to ourselves and being present, but about being better than the person on the mat next to us, or pushing ourselves into that super impressive asana, which is pose. Sound familiar? This is where the non-greed and non-attachment aspects come into play. So that goes pretty well, with ahimsa, if you remember the non-harming. When we detach from our expectations of what we're going to do in class and just kind of like be in the moment and feel what's happening while we're doing it, we're detaching and practicing Aparigraha. So think about that a little during your practice today. And we'll get started now. So find a comfortable seated position if you haven't already. Sit nice and tall and let your shoulder blades drop down. Close your eyes. And take a moment to silence your space. Relaxing your legs. Softening your brow line. Your temples. Relaxing your jaw. And bring your awareness to your breath. Just observe your natural breath rhythm for a moment. Breathing through the nose. Noticing if your breath is deep or shallow, fast or slow. And start to gradually deepen your inhales. And lengthen out your exhales, slowing them down. Relaxing the abdomen as you're breathing. And slowly emptying out the lungs. When you're ready, bring that gentle constriction to the muscles in the back of your throat, engaging Ujjayi Pranayama, victorious breath control. And we'll take a few more rounds, connecting to our pranayama. Once you finish your next exhale, gently open your eyes. Bring your hands down in front of you. Pull the shoulders back, chest forward, take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold down, walking the hands as far forward as you like. And then bring that to push. Just ease your way into your version of the seated forward fold. Little stretch in your hips and maybe your lower back. And we'll be here for 2 more full breath cycles. And when you inhale, lift your head, walk your hands in about halfway. Come over, frame your right knee. Do a little spinal twist to turn your belly toward the thigh. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, fold against or toward the thigh. Try to keep your left sits bone rooted down. Rise steady. Left side body stretching. One more full breath cycle. Inhale, lift up your head, walk your hands toward your knee, prop yourself up a bit. Exhaling, come through center, framing left knee. A little turn to face it, take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold toward the inner thigh. Feel the expansion on your inhales. Notice if you can release a little bit more on your exhales. One more breath cycle. Your inhale, lift your head, walk your hands in toward your knee. Exhale back to center. Sit back up and then switch to crossable legs. So the inside foot goes to the outside. This is seated cat cow. Grab the front of your knees with your hands. What else would you grab them with? On your inhale, pop out your belly and your chest, look up. Exhale, hunch over, tucking your chin. Inhale, come through neutral into spinal extension. Exhale through neutral into spinal flexion. 2 more times. Inhale, up, lengthening the front body. Exhaling back, lengthening the back body. One more. Use your inhale to come back to a neutral spine, sitting up straight. Reach your arms out and up. Exhale, twist to the right, bring your left hand to right leg. Right hand is your kickstand behind you. Notice if you're kind of leaning to the side, try to bring your head right above your tail. Creating even space between each vertebra. Breath is steady. One more deep inhale. Exhaling, release your twist. And now reach out and up and tall. Stay tall as you twist to the left. Exhaling. Bring the arms down. Head right above the tail. Shoulders relaxed down. Breathe. One more deep inhale. Exhale, release your twist. Let's come to the all fours. And drop into an active child's pose. Butt goes back through the feet. Forearms will stay lifted. Arms reach forward and hands press down. And you can rest your head on the floor if it wishes. Feel that stretch in the shoulders and the side body. Now go ahead and just relax your arms down. Notice any sensations in your spine, back. And then notice if anything changes as you take your knees wide apart, ready for that will drop between your thighs. Notice your breath. Next, and now I'll go back to all fours. Fingers are spread and rooted down. Lift up out of your shoulders. Take your right toes to the back of the mat and press your heel back, stretching out your calves. As you do that, push the floor away with your hands so your upper body muscles are activated. Keep your core engaged, belly pulling in. Take a deep breath in. Exhaling, come back to both knees and switch legs. Take your left toes to the back of the mat. Push the toes down as you press your heel back, pushing the floor away with your hands. Core engaged. Deep breath in. Exhaling, come back to both knees and stand up on them. And the camel, the knees will be hip width apart. Bring your hands to your hips. Lengthen the lower back, pressing the pelvis a little bit forward. And then lift up your chest. Bring your elbows back toward each other. Feel that back bend. You might take the hands a little further back toward each other. Your chest is pretty open. Notice if it's more difficult to breathe here. A lot of times people have a hard time breathing in this pose. Bring the breath in, control it. One more deep breath in, and you feel the chest expand a bit more. And then exhale, go back to neutral spine, relax your arms. Maybe that felt like a lot of work. And take right foot into a lunge, step it forward. Use your blocks if you need them under your hands, or maybe your hands rest on your thigh. Just let your hips drop forward without forcing anything. Keeping your right knee or the right heel grounded. Take protect the knee, so bring your butt on a longer stance, keep the knee back a little further, drop forward. This one, yeah, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. There, like that. That foot needs to come further forward now. This one? The front one. This one? Mm-hmm. Yes. Ha! If any of you want to add that balance challenge, you're welcome to reach your arms up overhead. Notice your breath here. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, bring your arms down and up. Push down with your front foot and go to more of a kneeling position. So your hips are more or less right above your back knee. This way, bring your hands to your heart. Press the palms together and the thumbs against your sternum, elbows out to the sides. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, rotate to the right, turning at the waist. Pull the belly in. Maybe the shoulders are creeping up and you can drop them. Keep breathing. One more deep inhale. Exhale, untwist. Bring your arms down, go to both knees, and step the left foot forward. Take a long enough stance so that when your hips drop forward and down, that front knee doesn't go past the ankle. Arms can reach up if you like. Deep, full breaths. One more deep inhale. And exhaling, come back to more of a kneeling position. Is it hurting the knee? Maybe you'll flip them out to get a little extra padding. Good. Bring your hands to your heart, thumbs to sternum, elbows out. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, turn to the left, rotating at the waist. To the left. Right back. I'm back. No, you're good. Keep breathing. If you push the front heel down and the back knee down, it'll give you a little more balance. More deep inhale. Exhale, release your twists. Come back to both knees. And then I'm going to go down to the belly. Untucking the toes once you get down there, so tops of the feet are on the floor. Bring your legs together and squeeze them tight. Press the front of your hips down, you should feel your glutes contract doing that. And then lift your shoulders, chest, and head. Not by pushing your hands down, but by using your upper back muscles. And take a deep breath in. And move in and out of this with the breath. As you exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, contract your upper back lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upper back contract. Exhale, lower. 2 more times. Legs stay engaged. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time. Glutes are contracted. Come up. Exhale, lower down and rest. If you want, you can bring your arms by your sides or maybe cross your forearms in front of you and rest your head on them. Relax and breathe.
quad stretch. So let's take the left arm forward. Roll to your left side. Grab your right foot behind you. And you can rest your head on your left arm. If your quads are pretty flexible and you're not getting much stretch, you can go back down to your belly. Oh yeah. If you're on your belly and you want an even deeper stretch, push your hips down. Notice your breath. One more deep inhale. Exhale and release your foot. Go back to your belly if you're not already. Take your right arm forward. Roll to your right side. And grab your left foot behind you. Again, you have the option of rolling to your belly if you want. Breathe. One more deep breath in. Exhaling, release the foot. Go back down to your belly if you're not already there. Bring your hands under your shoulders. We're going to activate the core to go up to the hands and knees. So push down with your knees and your hands. Lift your hips an inch. And then your chest. Oh my God. It takes practice. Good. Now stand up on your knees and turn to face the window wall if you're here. If you're at home, just face sideways, whatever direction you want. We're going to gate pose, stepping the left foot out to the side with the toes in line with the right knee. Reach your right arm up. Pull the low belly in and lift your chest. Deep breath in. Good, guys. Exhale, tilt to your left. Reaching the right bicep near your cheek. No, you're doing it right if you're going to do that leg. If you want to do what everyone else is doing, you have to switch legs. There you go. Breathing. Deep breath in, reaching the arm up, lengthen the spine, neutralize it. Exhale, bring your right hand down with the fingertips facing the front or the back of the mat if you're here. So it's just facing the short end of the mat. You might need to slide your left foot a little closer. Reach your left arm, bicep by the cheek. So if you're here in the room, you'll be reaching toward the back of the room. If you want more stretch in the belly and the front of the left hip, you can turn your chest up toward the ceiling a little more. Keep breathing. One more deep inhale. Exhaling, bring your left hand down, walk both hands around in front of your knee. You guys, most of you know I like to do this now where we just kind of move the hips around. Shift them back, shift them side to side, one up, one down. Just see if you find a nice juicy stretch in your left and your thigh. Okay, and my back to all fours. Stand up on your knees and we'll do that sequence on the other side. So now the right foot's gonna step out, toes in line with the knee. And reach your left arm up. Lengthen both sides of the waist, breathing in. Exhale, tilt to your right. You keep a little tuck in your tail, that'll also increase the stretch in the left hip flexors and waist. Notice what happened to your breath. Bring it back into the practice if you lost it. Keep your mind focused on the present moment, feeling the sensations in your body, the breath moving in and out. Let go of any expectations of where you think you should be. Just feel where you are. Inhaling, reach up and neutralize the spine. Exhale, left hand down, fingertips facing the short end of the mat. Reach right arm bicep toward cheek, palm facing the floor. Reaching toward me if you're here in the room. Turning the chest toward the wall and pulling it away from the floor will come from left hip moving and left shoulder. Keep breathing. One more deep inhale. Exhaling, bring your hand down, walk your arm around in front of the left knee. And play around with hips, moving them around, find that good stretch that works for you. One more deep breath in. Exhaling, come back to both knees. Turn to face in front of the mat and rest in child's pose. Feel free to go up to downward dog if you'd rather. And now we're going to get ready to come into pyramid pose. So if you're in downward dog, you can step your right foot forward from there if you feel like it. Otherwise, go to the knees, step your right foot forward. A lot of you will probably want to use blocks, so the back knee lifts. And the left foot will hop a little forward so you can root the heel down. Both legs are straight. And the back is straight as well. A lot of times we end up hunched over in this pose because we're trying to get down so far. So let go of that attachment to getting down as far as possible. And let your focus be more on neutralizing the spine. So maybe you go a little higher and do a cow position in your back to straighten it. You could also put your hands on your thigh if you want. Keep breathing. Notice where you're feeling a stretch right now. It might be the back of the thigh, it might be a little toward the inside of it. Just notice where you're feeling the stretch. We're going to subtly change it in a moment. Take your right hand or block inside the foot. Walk your hands or blocks over to the left just a little bit. And then turn your pelvis to the left. It's a subtle shift. You will probably feel that stretch in the back of the right thigh move a little bit. Some of you might feel it higher up towards the attachment, others might feel it more inside the thigh. Right.
Yeah.
Tell the other leg forward.
My back.
Keep breathing. And you're gonna walk your hands back to frame your foot. Bend the right knee, step left foot forward, right foot back to switch to the other side. Since we just had the right hamstring stretching for quite a bit, you might notice that now that we're doing the other side, you feel a little tighter than how we ended up on the other side. And that's okay. And if you feel like your upper back is stretching, that might be a sign that you're hunched. So looking a little forward might help fix that. Going up a little higher with your hands might fix it too. Think broad chest. And bring your awareness to where you're feeling the stretch in the left thigh at the back of it. And notice the subtle change as you bring your left block inside the foot. And then walk your hands over to the right a little bit. It's the side turn, that angling of the pelvis to the left, that will create the different sensation in the back of the leg. Because we just took that left hip from only flexed to now externally rotated. So we're stretching a little different muscles. Now we're going to go into a wide-legged forward fold. So you're going to walk the blocks all the way over to the right. Turn your feet sideways so they're parallel to each other. Good job, Brandy. Notice what sensations you feel here. If you don't feel a whole lot of stretch in the inner thighs, you might take the blocks a little lower. Maybe you don't even need them, you can get rid of them and put your hands to the floor. Keep a little bend in the knees so they're not locked. And if you do cow pose here with your spine, that'll increase the stretch as well. Good job, Susan. Notice your breath. If you were using the blocks when we were in pyramid, grab one. Turn your left toes back to face the front of the mat and walk your hands over the front of the foot. On your left tip toes. And step into a forward fold. So some of you might just let the arms hang and do a full fold. Others might prefer, with your back the way it is, to go to a half fold with your hand on blocks and your back parallel to the floor. A lot of times when my lower back was just killing me and doing a forward fold didn't serve my body at the time. So I let go of that attachment to getting into the full pose and then doing half fold instead.
Knees locked or
Unlocked. Knees a little bit bent. Breath steady. Now when you're inhale, come into a half fold for now right there. Exhale, fold down. Some of you might go to downward dog. Others might go into the lunge to find your way to child's pose. It's your choice, downward dog or child's pose. You're in downward dog, palms are on the mat, fingers are spread wide. Chest is pressing back toward the thighs. Middle fingers facing the front of the mat. Good job, everybody. Let's come into the child's pose if you're not already there. Maybe you like that wide knee variation, so let the belly drop down a little more. Maybe even bring the knees closer together. If it feels more comfortable for your arms, you can bring them back by your hands back by your feet. One more full breath cycle, resting. Come back up to all fours. We're gonna step the right foot forward. You can stand up on the knees first if that's a little easier. Go to lunge. We're gonna make our way up to standing. Put your hands on your right thigh. Tuck the back toes. Push down the front heel as you lift the back knee. Lean a little forward, maybe push off that back foot to stand. Straight out your legs if you need to. We're going to try to balance on one foot, so if you need to, you can go over the wall to put your hand up against it. This one can be a little tricky. Let's see. We're gonna have the left hand against the wall. Maybe watch me first. If like you guys will probably want to turn around, but watch me first. So your hand's gonna be against the wall. We're gonna take the right knee up. No, your right hand's gonna be against the wall. So you guys will eventually have to turn around, but watch me first. Watch me first, sorry. So yeah, right hand's against the wall, right knee is lifted, left hand holds the knee. And then we're gonna turn toward the wall, so the hand will like walk down it, okay? So you guys turn around, put your right hand up against the wall. Take your right knee up, grab it with your left hand. Lift your chest up and then turn toward the wall, walking your hand back as far as you want to. You can reach it so far back that your chest is stretching. And if your right hip flexors get tired, you can hold the back of the thigh and kind of let the leg rest in your hand. Chest is lifted high. Good. Breath is steady. One more deep inhale. Exhaling, release your foot down, release the twist. Wherever you choose to bring the legs over. So we just had the right knee lifted. So we're gonna now, I'm not gonna switch sides yet. We're gonna do a counter pose for that right hip. And it's warrior 3. So what it looks like is your right leg is gonna come out behind you and you're gonna tilt forward. So then you can have your hand up against the wall for that one if you want, or you can grab your blocks and put them under your hands and do it that way. Whenever you're ready, just start lifting the right leg first before you bend over. Take the right leg straight back behind you. Use the lifting of the leg to bend forward at the hip. Good, everybody. Keep breathing. One more deep breath in. On your exhale, try to lift your upper body first. Lift that up in order to bring the leg down. And shake it out. So now we'll do that knee up spinal twist on the other side. And you'll have the left hand against the wall. The left knee is going to come up. We'll hold it with the right hand. Before you twist, find a nice lifted long spine. Deep breath in. Exhale, twist to the left. Sliding your hand back on the wall. Maybe the arm totally straightens. And if the arm is totally straight, you'll have your fingertips facing back instead of up. Keep breathing. One more deep breath in. And feeling release the twist, bring your leg down, shake it out a little bit if you need to. And then we're going to do warrior 3 with the left leg extending back. So stand up straight and tall. Lift the left foot and start extending that hip. So your glutes will contract to bring the leg behind you. That leg lifting is what tilts your upper body forward. Hands to the wall or hands on blocks. Christine, can you drop your left hip a little more so your hips are level with the floor? Good, good. One more deep breath in. And your exhale, let the upper body first. Let lifting up the upper body be what brings the leg down. Easier said than done. Shake it out. Come back to the front of your mat if you're not already there. We're going to step back into a lunge. The left foot's going to stay forward. The right foot's going to step back. So you can hop it, like bending the front knees. You're hopping the foot back. That'll help with balance, hopefully. Bring your hands to your thigh. And then bend the back knee, lower it to the floor. Go back to all fours and either downward dog or child's pose. Yes. Deep, full inhales. Long, slow exhales. Now we're going to set up for hero. It's a favorite of a lot of people, and I say that sarcastically. Put your knees. Bring the inner thighs all the way together. And just for now, have your feet together. I want you guys to feel something. Knees are together, feet are together. Feel what happens in your hip joints. They're going to internally rotate as the feet separate. Just feel what happens there. We'll go back together again on the feet. Feel what happens in the hip joints. And then take them apart again. Now we're going to sit back between the feet. Maybe you put a block underneath your butt. Maybe you stack 2. It shouldn't hurt your knees, so adjust accordingly. The higher up your butt is, the less the knees should hurt. sometimes this bothers the tops of the feet, and I don't see anybody really wincing from that, but if it does, you can ball up a sock and stick it underneath where the ankle bends. Good thinking, Christine.
Do I have it for them or
I'm not surprised you don't need anything, because you're super flexible. Now, if you want a deeper quad stretch, shins will stay planted, tail tucks as you lean back onto your hands. And if that still gives you nothing, you can go to your forearms.
Sorry, my limb doesn't go that
I think you can do it, but there's something you'll have to do once you get there. So I'll tell you what to do once you get there.
Getting back up is the hard part.
Huh?
Getting back up is the hard part.
Squeeze your knees together. Try going to the forearms, but then tuck your tail under and lift your butt a little bit, pushing the shins down. There you go. You got it. Oh, I hate that.
But yeah, stop.
It's good, you listen to your body. Come out of it at any time. I'm gonna give us like maybe 2 more breaths here to stay if you want, but if it's too intense, come back out. It's a good stretch. All right, next inhale, lift your chest, come back upright. And go to all fours. Knees and ankles were in quite a deep joint action there, so we're gonna do the opposite for each. Right toes to the back of the mat, knee lifted. And then press the heel back, just like we did in the beginning of class. And then switch. Back to both knees, and we're gonna go down to the belly. If you want to challenge yourself, do a reverse push-up where your knees will go back a little bit. You're in plank on the knees, and the elbows will bend straight back. Keeping the core engaged. Go down to the belly. Arms will reach back for locust. Tops of the feet are on the mat. Squeeze your legs together. Push your hips down as you lift your upper body. Shoulders, chest, and head. You can cover the hands if you want. You can also interlace your fingers behind your back if your shoulders are pretty open. Keep the glutes engaged to protect or support the lower back. One more inhale. And then exhale and down and rest. Breathe deeply. We're going to do that pose again, this time a little bit differently. So have your head facing the mat, or you can look toward me. Let's go into it the regular way just for a moment. So yeah, I'm gonna relate something to the shoulders here in a moment. Have your palms facing up for now. And then come up into the pose and notice what you feel in the front of your chest, like the front of your shoulders and in your chest. Do you feel any opening or is there tension pulling the shoulders down? Now we're going to take the pinkies up, so palms will face the thighs. Notice if you feel your chest open up a little bit more doing that. So Betty, look at me. Hands like that. Good. One more deep breath in. And exhaling, come down and rest. So if you felt a big difference there in your shoulders and you felt your chest was more open, that might be a better version of locust for you, to do it with your palms facing your thighs. Let's bend the knees and then she'll wipe your feet side to side, loosening up the lower back and the hips. Release the feet to the floor. Roll onto your back. We're gonna do a little bit of core work with some basic crunches. Have your knees bent, feet on the floor. And you can have your arms crossed over your chest. If your neck starts to get tired, you can interlace your fingers behind the base of your skull. You can start like that if you want. It's gonna make it a little bit harder for your abs, but it'll make it easier on your neck. So while you're laying here, feel what's going on in your lower back. Is it flat on the floor or is it a little bit lifted? We're gonna start with it a little bit lifted, so that natural curve in the lower back is there. When we crunch up, we're gonna flatten it, so we're flexing the spine. Think lower ribs toward the pelvic bone. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lift head and shoulders, push the lower back down and pull the belly in. Inhale, come down almost all the way, but not quite. Lift the lower back a bit. Exhale, press the lower back down and crunch up. Inhale, lower with control, let that natural curve in the back occur. Exhale, crunch up, push the lower back down. Inhale, down with resistance. Exhale, up. Inhale, down. Exhale, belly in, flatten the lower back. Inhale, down. Exhale, up, belly in. 3 more times. Inhale, down. Exhale, crunch up. If you have your fingers interlaced behind your head, try not to crank it down. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, crunch up. And then come down and rest. And then I'll do one more thing. This is for core work. We're gonna go up into that full crunch, and then we're gonna pulse up there. So a little faster and a little less range of motion. Not going down quite as far. So arms wherever you have them are one. Cross over the chest, start interlace behind the head. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, crunch up as high as you can lift your rib cage, and then little pulses down and up. Five more. 2 more. Last one, hold it. Come down and rest. That was for you, Christine. It might feel good to straighten the legs down here if you want. Go ahead. That was for all of us. Yay. Let's come into a spinal twist now. Bend your knees, have your feet on the floor. Shift your hips over to the right. Take your knees up toward your chest and let your knees and feet drop to the left. Okay, put your feet down first. Knees bent. Feet down the floor. Move your hips to the right. To the right. To the right. No, that's one. That's your left. Your hips to the left. Your knees up to the right. There you go. Now knees up toward your chest. Drop knees and feet to the left. Yes.
Here I go. Oh, this is good for my head.
Nope. Now if you're comfortable with this, have your arms up to the sides and turn the palms up so the chest is opening. And I've been saying this a lot in my classes lately because it's pretty important. If your right shoulder blade is propped up off the floor, put a block under your left thigh. So the spinal twist is the same, but you're able to keep the shoulder blade down so that shoulder joint isn't compromised. Perfect. Breathe deeply and slowly. Here for one more full breath cycle. Now you bring your knees back up. Shift your hips over to the left edge of the mat. Then you bring your feet to the floor. There you go. Take your knees up toward your chest. And drop knees and feet to your right. Find a position that allows your left shoulder blade to be flat on the floor. Notice your breath deep. When we're in poses that stretch the muscles in the torso, like your lower back, your abs, your obliques, your spinal erectors, like this pose that we're in, the breath will help to increase the stretches. Because as you're breathing and the ribs are expanding, those muscles that we're stretching are forced to stretch a little bit more to allow that rib cage expansion. One more full breath cycle. I heard that, somebody. I heard it, I'll bring the knees back up to center. Was it you, Glory? Straighten your spine. Hug your knees to your chest for a moment. If you want, you can rock side to side. Back to stillness. Bring your feet to the floor, keeping the knees bent when you're bridge. So arms will be at your sides. Press the feet down, lift the hips up, lifting your chest up toward your chin, and pushing the shoulder blades down against the mat. One more deep breath in, maybe lift a little bit higher. Exhale, come down to control. Feel one vertebra at a time touch down. It's a little tricky once you get to the lower back. Kind of fun to play with it though. At least I think it is. Take a rest. Extend your legs all the way down to the mat. Bring your legs together and reach your arms behind you. You can interlace the fingers and point the index. Or if that's not comfortable for your shoulders, just reach your fingertips away behind you. Now, flex the ankles and press your heels away from you. If If you want, you can lift your lower back and kind of arch it. That'll stretch the front body a bit more, especially right below the bottom of the ribs. And I bet a lot of people holding their breath. One more deep breath in, stretch a little bit more, really lengthen. Exhale, relax. Separate your feet a couple feet. And your arms by your sides, a foot or two away from your hips. Arms facing up. You ready for Shavasana? Last pose, corpse pose, because you really like your dead. Close your eyes if you're not already. Relax the muscles of your face. Relax your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Relax your hips and your thighs. Let all four limbs be heavy. And let go.
Start to deepen your breath. Bring some gentle movement back into the body to wake it up. Give yourself one last stretch here when I call out to. Bend your knees, roll gently to one side, and press back up into a seated position. Bring your hands to your heart and close your eyes. I'll close my class like I usually do with the Guru mantra, which pays homage to the lineage of teachers that pass down the practice. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Akanda Mandala Karam Vyaptam Ena Chara Charam Tatpadam Darshitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namaste. Namaste. So a little suggestion, if you want to try it, is think throughout the day about how you can detach, whether that's like going through your closet and doing some spring cleaning and getting rid of stuff so there's less clutter. Maybe there's somebody in your life that you're trying to help and they just won't get it, and you need to kind of detach with love, or I don't know. There's ways to detach, to have more openness in your heart for things that are gonna be good.